Very good evening and welcome to yet another edition of the S101's Visual Radio. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Jed Abdin. We start off with a look at your headlines.
Newsfirst headline.
And making headlines, Sri Lanka in talks with India to set up small arms ammunition manufacturing plant. Defense Ministry confirms 16 Sri Lankan retired military personnel died in Russia-Ukraine war. Special audit report on purchase of medicines tabled in Parliament. In international news, Biden slaps new tariffs on Chinese imports. And in sports, T20 World Cup, India allotted Guyana semi-final on the 27th of June. And now your news in detail. In local news, State Minister of Defence Premita Bandara Tennakoon says Sri Lanka is in talks with India to set up a small arms ammunition manufacturing plant. He expressed these views in response to a question raised during a media briefing today.
Indian defense manufacturing arm has boomed during the last 2 decades. It's a model that we have to look into. We can take a lot from Indian model. So it's nothing wrong in learning from them. Yeah. And I think we also should get into the manufacturing.
Exactly. We have the expertise, right? Sri Lankan military has the expertise.
Yes.
So why
so we are already doing it, but the scale is not as we expect it to be. We are in touch with our Indian counterparts, and so there's so much that we can take and learn from India, and with a little help we also can do wonders here. So those discussions are ongoing at the moment.
Have you discussed for a joint venture India-Sri Lanka?
We are in the process of discussing, yes.
Joint venture on arms manufacturing, is that correct?
Military industry, defense industry, right? Yes.
Defense industry, equipment manufacturing or services?
We are in discussion with India to set up a small arms manufacturing unit.
And shifting your attention to more local news, the Minister of Defence says it was confirmed that 16 Sri Lankan retired military personnel were killed in the Russia-Ukraine war. State Minister of Defence Premita Bandara Tennakoon says plans are being made to bring Sri Lankan retired military personnel who are currently in Russia and Ukraine back to Sri Lanka with the intervention of the Minister of Foreign Affairs. 287 complaints have been received relating to the human trafficking or retired military personnel for the Russia-Ukraine war since the 9th of May. The Criminal Investigation Department is actively pursuing further investigations into this illicit activity. The Defence Ministry requests the family members of the concerned to provide information about retired Sri Lankan military personnel who have joined the Russia-Ukraine war via various routes, including the dates of their departure, persons and institutions that had coordinated their passages to the following dedicated number: 0112 244 1146. The Defence Ministry also requests the general public to provide information about individuals involved in human trafficking, those who support it, and any relevant information related to the above phone number. And also in more local news, the Auditor General's Department says the special audit report related to the purchase of medicines was tabled in Parliament. Auditor General WPC Wickramaratne says the special audit was conducted in relation to the purchase and distribution of medicines during the period 2022 to 2023. Up next is international news.
International news.
In international news, President Joe Biden has slapped major new tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles, advanced batteries, solar cells, steel, aluminium and medical equipment, taking pot shots at Donald Trump along the way as he embraced a strategy that's increasing friction between the world's two largest economies. The Democratic president said the Chinese government's subsidies ensure the nation's companies do not have to turn a profit, giving them an unfair advantage in global trade. China immediately promised retaliation. Up next is your update on sports.
Sports news.
And in sports, India will play the second semi-final of the Men's T20 World Cup on the 27th June in Providence, Guyana if they qualify for the knockout stage. India have likely been allotted the Guyana semi-final because of the match timings. The first semi-final in Tarouba, Trinidad is a night game set to be played from 8:30 p.m. local time on the 26th of June, which in India is 6 a.m. on the 27th June. The Guyana semi-final, however, will start at 10:30 a.m. local time, which is a far more TV-friendly 8 p.m. in India. With that, we wrap up this edition of Yes 101's Visual Radio. For the Newsfirst team, I've been Joy Dapri, and thank you for listening. Have a nice day.